Hello guys, one of the kids I was mentoring just decided to drop out of college and pursue entrepreneurship full time, which ended up in me making this video right now. So, is college worth it if you are an entrepreneur or you want to become an entrepreneur in the United States? And with that question, was my $320,000 tuition at Babson College, the #1 entrepreneurship school in the world, worth it? So let's go with the first thing. The answer is, what type of college are you going to? Are you going to an elite college or are you going to a normal state community college? By elite college, I mean colleges like Babson College, UPenn, Harvard, MIT, Yale, and any of those that are top for entrepreneurship. And for this is any state school or any community college, any normal college that you might be going to. To go straight into the point, if you're going to any of this, I would say it's better for you just to go ahead and start a business, especially if you're paying out of pocket because you don't have financial aid or you don't have any scholarship. But the last thing you should do is drop out of any of the scholarships and just be a lazy bum. Now, contrary to popular belief and what most people say that college is a scam or you don't need college to start a business, if you look at all the top businesses in the world, most of the founders went to one of these schools. Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates went to Harvard. Elon Musk went to Stanford. And I can probably have a list of 1,000 founders' names right here from these colleges. And I already know what you're gonna say. Oh, but those 3 people that you named, they dropped out of college. Yes, it is true. But the reason why it makes sense to go one of these elite schools is not because of the classes. It's not because of the professors. It is because of the name and the connections that you get from this school. Most entrepreneurs and startup founders, including myself, we meet our co-founders and the people that dictate our future during college. The first thing is that you need to be smart to enter one of these colleges to begin with. So you're already gonna be surrounded by smart people and people that are capable of doing a lot of great things. You can easily find your co-founder or even future business partners by attending these colleges. Now, the most important thing though, by far, is the name and the brand of the college. I don't know if you all understand how easy it is to sell a product or a service if you say you're a Harvard dropout or if you say that you're a Harvard alumni. I swear, if you're in Silicon Valley and you say, oh, I go to Stanford and you're a startup founder, you can raise $2 million like this. It is so much easier to get funding, to get clients, to get investors, to get advisors, and many other stuffs if you go to one of the elite schools. The alumni of these elite schools and the quality of connections that you can get through the alumni is priceless. Now let's address the elephant in the room. You're probably thinking yourself, hey Sebastián, the elite school sounds amazing, but the main problem is the high tuition. And I completely understand this. So let's say you have a full ride scholarship or almost all of your tuition is covered by financial aid, then you should definitely go to one of the schools. If you're going to pay tuition and your parents are wealthy and going to this type of college is not going to be a financial hardship to you or your family, then why not? If you need to take a loan for one of these colleges tuition, then I will think about it because there's its perks, but also paying 320, paying 400, paying 200 grand to go to college can be a bit crazy. So I advise to sit down and look at the opportunities, to look at the cost, and then to look if it makes sense for you, especially if you want to start a business. Now, going with the second part of the video, was my $320,000 tuition at Babson College worth it? To be honest, I got a Babson grant, which is kind of like a full ride scholarship, but if I did have to take $320,000 as a loan for Babson College, let me tell you, it will have already been paid off. And even better, there will have been a ROI on that investment. Now, I'm gonna be speaking about Babson College, but this can also be applied to any of the elite schools for entrepreneurship. The first thing and probably the most important thing for me was that at Babson College I was able to meet my co-founder Sheikha, and I think Babson breeds that. You are surrounded by so many great people, by so many great entrepreneurs or people wanted to become entrepreneurs that it is easier to find the right co-founder. And it is easier to find people that align with what you're doing already in life. Going with that, because of Babson College, I also met my mentor and my advisor. So shout out to Nuno Matos. And I met him through Babson College. That's how we met. And then I learned from him. I learned his entrepreneurial venture that he was doing in the past. And that actually led me to becoming an entrepreneur myself. When I met him, I didn't have any business. I had my gigs. my freestyling stuff that I used to do in New York City, but I didn't have nothing legit. And funny enough, he actually dropped out of Babson College after his second year because his business was doing so well. So right there, you can see how strong the Babson network is. And by the way, Babson is not sponsoring me. Like, I'm not getting paid to do this video. If, Spinelli is looking at this and they want to promote me or pay me, happy to do so. But this is not a paid promotion. So as you can see, the people at Babson College is one of their most important, valuable assets. We have alumni like Arthur Blank, which is the founder of Home Depot, the CEO of Toyota, the founder of Ring, and many others that if I keep, listing the names, I'm gonna be here till midnight. Actually, when I did start my business, my senior year at Babson College, what I will do with my partner is that we will go to Horn, we will, be in a small room, we will get all the lists of the Babson alumni businesses, and then we will call them one per one. And that's actually how I probably say, from my first 5 clients that I got in my business, 3 of them were Babson alumni because they were more willing and more open to try our service because we went to the same college. And they also knew how Babson students are or how Babson founders are. But going with that, also the Babson professors are a distinguished point. This is because most of them, instead of being teachers, they are actually our founders or entrepreneurs that in their fun time, they come here and they want to teach students. So when they do teach you about business in class, they actually know what they're talking about, because it's not something that they're reading from a book. They actually did the business, so they actually are founders doing businesses, so you can relate to it. There's a couple of Babson professors that really made a mark in me becoming the entrepreneur that I am today. So shout out to Len Green, which is actually one of the advisors at Intellect Staffing. But just a disclaimer, this is my experience. I know there's other Babson people that have a totally different experience than mine. But like I said, the number one thing about Babson is the people, the connections, and the professors. There's a lot of people here that come from family businesses, and this is actually really good because through them you will learn a lot. For me, I had friends of mine that their parents were crazy entrepreneurs, and they actually introduced me to their parents, and through that I was able to learn so much about business. So sometimes it's not even the students themselves, sometimes it's their parents. And me, as someone that came from Washington Heights, being able to speak with these people and actually learn how they started their business, how they grew their business, how they scaled their business, it opened my eyes not to just see that it is possible to start a business, but how you can start a business. So right now, look, I'm gonna stop speaking and I'm actually gonna bring Sheikha, my partner, and she's gonna speak about her experience at Babson. I'm gonna ask you a quick question, okay? Was Babson worth it? And is Babson worth it also for, entrepreneurships or, students that already have businesses and they wanna, go to college? They might think college is a scam.
I do think that Babson College was worth attending. I had so many opportunities just by attending the college, just by having the name on my LinkedIn, on my resume. It really opened so many doors, and also the network at Babson for entrepreneurs, the alumni network. So many founders created their companies here and went on to grow them, to exit them, and start so many more. So definitely recommend Babson.
And she also was a killer when it came to the rocket pitch competitions. I'm gonna put here a photo of her, winning 5 grand like nothing. So yeah, I think Babson was worth it for me as well. But like anything in life, you need to go get it and actually make sure that your 322 tuition is worth it. I took advantage of every single resource I had because I was poor. But I had friends who didn't have the same experience at Babson College or didn't even think that college was necessary for them to become entrepreneurs. Like anything in life, you need to go yourself and go get the opportunities that are being provided for you, especially in the top elite schools for entrepreneurship. Nothing is coming to you. So if you're coming to Babson College, let me tell you, you're not gonna get anything. You dictate how your college experience is. You dictate if you actually wanna become an entrepreneur or a business owner. Everything is on your side. You are the one responsible for your life. You're the one that takes your actions. So if I was you, I would sit down, see what are my options, if I have a full ride scholarship, if I have grants, financial aid, what type of school I'm gonna be attending, if it's gonna be one of the elite schools, if it's gonna be a normal school, and think about it, make sure that you actually take the right choice. But like I said before, at the end of the day, you will be the one deciding how you want your experience to be at any of these colleges. And to end this video, if you already are making 10 grand profit per month, then I don't think you should go to college. I think you should focus on your business and keep growing it. But if you're making less than this amount and you got accepted to one of the elite schools and you can go ahead and attend without being a financial hardship to you, then maybe you should go to this school. See you guys. Take care. Don't forget to follow me in the description down below on Instagram, LinkedIn. Hope this video adds value to you and actually shows you the reality of college, because I see a lot of gurus saying, oh, college is a scam, college is not worth it. Yeah, maybe for some entrepreneurs, yes. But when it comes to certain schools, the school has so many perks, especially if you're going to the startup world, you want to raise money, you want to meet investors, you want to do all that startup, Silicon Valley type stuff. I think you should definitely go to one of these elite schools. Take care. Hasta luego.